Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? It is around 8 p.m. here in San Antonio, Texas. Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to me and Banjo's Tarot Card Puppy Banjo's weekly tarot card reading and drawing. Got the card tarot today, and I got my sketchbook right here. So that's nice. It's got this sketchbook will be a little bit shorter than the usual on account of some of these pages are like bent. They're bent. So I'm not going to draw on them. In case you're wondering. Anyway, welcome. Happy Sunday. That's the day I'm filming this video. But by the time I do this video and you watch it, it's probably not going to be Sunday. Happy Monday or whatever day it is you're watching this video. And Banjo's a very happy tarot card puppy. He just finished his little puff treat. His peanut butter puff treat. Well, anyway, welcome. I hope you're doing well. In July, end of July 2026. Here we are. I have my paints here. My mom was like, Michelle, I haven't seen you do a lot of your paints on your Instagram. I said, I know, I just haven't been really wanting to paint a lot. But I have these, I think they're, what are they? They're Artist Halaf and they're 5x7s. I painted this one time when it was raining outside. Obviously gonna have to add some glitter, but I think I'm done. I just need to do the back. And then I have this one. I kind of don't like it, but it is what it is. I haven't done the back yet. And then I have this one. I'm really not sure what to do with this one. I thought it was going to be there's this red yucca that I confuse all the time with honeysuckle, a plant. They're like all over Texas or San Antonio. They do really well in this San Antonio area. I don't know what kind of area it is, otherwise I would tell you. But anyway, this red yucca kind of plant that I confuse a lot with honeysuckle, at least when I was making my YouTube videos, walking around. I tried to do that. This little rose gold backdrop. But then I thought, you know what, they kind of look like little mermaid tails or something like that. So I didn't know if I was going to go like this way or if I was going to go this way. But anyway, these are the paints I have, in case you're wondering. Can you not see when I have my lamp on today? Can you see my glasses? Okay, it's a little dark. I could do the video like this, but I think it's just a little too dark. My videos are a little bit darker than my photos. So anyway, those are my paints. I have my paints right here. I just have not been painting like at all. And that's just what it is. Anyway, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have this a frog here, cicada, and this pine cone. I was telling Banjo, I said, Banjo, we have this nighttime vibes here. This like little toad noise in the background. And cicadas. You hear them a lot at night or whatever. Or those grasshoppers. One of the two, kind of the same vibe though. We're going for vibe. So we have this kind of nighttime in the country, because when you're in the city, obviously you're not going to hear these sounds, right? When you're in the country at night, you hear these sounds. No, Benjo. He's so cute right now. He's rubbing his face on the blanket. I would show y'all, but here's the frame. Here's where we're at. One of these days, I'm gonna learn how to film Banjo and have him in the little corner so I can see what he's doing. Anyway, so welcome, country nighttime vibes. You know, I'm not sure really what they say about the city at night. But they say there's a really big sky in the country at night and you can see the stars and it's really nice. So we can just kind of have that theme, I guess. It's kind of very relaxing, contemplative, meditative, contemplative, or maybe clearing the mind. So I guess we can go ahead and go with that. I have my coffee. I brewed it this morning. It's been in the coffee pot all day. That's fine now. I put ice in it. Anyway, so I wanted to do the Crow Tarot, and again with the Crow Tarot spread. Crow Body Tarot spread. So you go ahead and get started with that. I did kind of clean up my little area over here next to, or beneath my feet, and so I have a little bit more room. So with the Dragon Tarot, I usually take out the Empress, because I really don't like the Dragon Tarot Empress. So we really just don't need any of these vibes right now. I really want to wear these glasses. They're blue light filter glasses. That's the whole point of them. I don't know if you can tell. There's like kind of like this blue thing, but you can't really see my makeup very well. But I guess that's okay. I really just have like highlight in my eyebrows. So you know what? I've been going too much with this. Getting too monotonous with this no eyebrow situation. I gotta change it up. I was gonna put little dots there, but I said, you know what? I'm just gonna put the highlight. Kind of like a blockchain highlight, not this really smooth, cool, I learned about this in my Descent of Man Darwin book. They study this bone here, and I forget what it's called. Anyway, this kind of eye socket bone, I wanted it to be kind of like blockchain. A blockchain, I think, is like with cryptocurrency, but I'm using it as a makeup term right now. So anyway, yeah, that's that. I forget how I guess that's just something I really wanted to share with y'all. So thanks for listening. But I'm gonna wear these glasses, one because they're blue light filter, and two, I think that it's just a kind of an interesting vibe with the makeup. I guess is where I was going with that. I have this weird like black with this yellow. I thought it was kind of like kind of mismatchy. Maybe like is her name Carla in Fight Club? So, well, you know what? I don't really know if she's mismatchy, but I think in one scene she does wear this hat. So I think this is kind of like the glasses are kind of like the same thing. So anyway, country, contemplative, meditative. You know, they tell you like in meditation, Benjo, what you do? Benjo, 1 second. Okay, sorry. Benjo was distracting me. But yeah, this a country vibe, country. We've got the frog and the cicada here. Oh, and the pine cone. This is an actual pine cone, in case you didn't know. It might be hard for you to tell, but it's a frog and cicada. But anyway, um, contemplative and meditative. I think how I used to be. I used to be like have like a meditation app sometimes, or sometimes no. I think guided meditations. I think I did one time in person. It was like a class, but I think most of the time with the guided meditations I've done, it's they've been on YouTube, and they're usually yoga instructors, and those are really helpful. But as far as like meditation, I think it's really interesting, especially for me now. I just think I have such kind of a different lifestyle. Maybe not so much for y'all, but internally, I feel like I have such a different lifestyle than maybe that you've seen in other areas other than my YouTube videos. Um, Not that I'm like a different person or anything, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I'm getting at though is this kind of a meditation type thing. I'm using it a lot more now for this kind of a creativity. Um, I'm not trying to silence my mind. I'm not trying to take a space out to, well, as far as the silencing my mind, I think maybe, my sister's texting me. Okay. I think that, calming, like if you get frustrated or whatever, in that kind of sense of silencing, but not necessarily like, I can't think of anything, I'm just going to be here and be zen or whatever. Just a kind of more, like I say, not silencing the mind, but just kind of letting the mind wander and stuff like that. Um, Kind of like dreams. I feel like I do that personally, I guess. You know, dreams are extremely subjective, right? You can have dream books and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. I think that's great. But as far as I think that's most of the time on average, what do these things mean to people generally? But I think dreams can be very subjective, and your brain's interpretation of yourself going throughout the day, and maybe you're thinking of the past or the future or whatever. Um, but yeah, been not really doing this meditation where I quiet the mind, still the mind, and kind of do this like hanged man, or here in this Crow Tarot, this hanged man, or this Four of Swords type of situation. I've just kind of just let it really, really with my creativity, which is your second chakra. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee 1 second. And I find that really helpful for me here, because your second chakra is about like flow and movement, and it's the element water, and creativity is um, uh, like you create things and stuff like that. So I think that's really smart for me to do here at 9107, but maybe You can try something different with whatever you're at. Maybe you have too much movement and too much creativity, and you're like, I want power, which is the third chakra. The love or the air. I think it's very interesting because in the tarot, your air element is your intellect, but in your chakras, it's like your heart, like your hands, your heart, and stuff like that. So I think that's interesting. But anyway, and I find it works really well for me. I like this being able to think of new things. I think for my situation right now, I think that's really a great thing and skill that I've developed and stuff like that. But anyway, nighttime country, got the frogs and the cicadas, grasshoppers, and the pine cones vibe, meditation vibe, either clearing the mind, stilling the mind, or a moment of contemplation. I like to say contemplation because, like I said, you can observe, as part of the meditation is kind of like observing your thoughts and just kind of going from there. And I think your third eye, which is usually like right here, or your pineal gland or wherever, is for meditation. I think your seventh, which is your sixth chakra, and your seventh chakra too, which is pure consciousness or thought or okay, sorry, my sister's still texting me. I'm texting the group chat, family group chat. Or a 1,000-petal lotus, or a lotus. I like the 1,000-petal lotus because I think things can be quite involved and complex and stuff like that. But yeah, I like the Empress card a lot better in this Crow Tarot than in the Dragon Tarot. So there's going to be the option to have the Empress card here in this Crow Tarot. So yeah, I guess that's our theme. It's the introduction. Benjo, what you got? He's chewing on something. Little puppy. What do you got? Where's your peanut butter? I have the cord. The cord to the lamp on his spot. You don't want that cord there? Okay. Is that enough shuffling video? Cut them thin anyway, or just cut them, I guess. Okay. So Crow Tarot body, and if you're new to my tarot card readings, tarot card videos, me and Banjos, tarot card puppy Banjos, I usually take a card out for him. Now I think about it. But if you're new, I like this a tarot card spread because it differs a bit from the conventional tarot card spreads, where usually, except for the Celtic Cross, where usually you have the past, and then you get to the future, and you just kind of go along in that timeline. I like this Crow Tarot spread because you start with the heart energy, and then you don't find out the past until the sixth card over here, yeah, the future is, I think, the eighth card. Okay, so Banjo, you ready to give us a card? All right. He said he's ready. Banjo, You gave us the devil today. And Joe, he's looking at me all concerned like. Last week, Benjo gave us the King of Cups, I think, and that was some really helpful. A lot of positivity. Okay, so we start with the big dog, Benjo. I tell Benjo all the time. So for the longest time, I wanted a big dog, so I got you, Benjo. He's a little dachshund corgi mix. I think he might be something else too, but I don't know. My mom says a rat terrier because he likes to she says rug wrestle. He just kind of digs through things. He goes under furniture and stuff. But anyway, Benjo gave us the devil card. This is a really very serious card and not good energy. But I think this is kind of interesting considering that, let's see, I think it's kind of interesting considering recently, these past couple of tarot card readings, this has been talked about, we've kind of had this new theme of something trying to take a hold of our heart energy, but has been unsuccessfully done so. And it's more of a focus on ourselves and how we react to that, as opposed to what is this thing that has temporarily taken a hold of our heart energy. I think one was with this Crow Tarot spread, and the other one I think was it the 7-card spread, Benjo? He said, yeah. Hopefully we're right. But yeah, this devil card is a very serious. A major arcana card, I think it's the earth element. Yeah. The devil is disinterested in the lives he's destroyed. His presence can be cold and dark. At times, to catch his prey, he channels his charming nature and allows the unsuspecting victim to willingly follow, only to realize he's taken their joy and replaced it with despair. This is not good, Benjo. A fear of change and addiction to that's preventing you from finding real freedom and happiness. Here, the creator says that the chains that have bound you may be of your own creation. This is very interesting. So a lot of responsibility taken or with this card, right? And yeah, I guess that's that, Benjo. Very serious card, Benjo. Why don't you give us a card? Okay, so that's Benjo's card. Very, very serious. I would say there's a lot of I don't know, lack of clarity. Maybe these things might be something you invite, which I think, again, we're going to have to get to our spread, but here in this tarot card spread, we do have this external openings or uninvited energy. With this upright devil card that can indicate something very serious, and the book's description, which I don't mind today, Benjo, is this something of your own making, having to take a bit of a responsibility for the situation you're in, which seems maybe not like a pleasant one. This could be us, or I say you. I kind of want to backtrack it. Somebody around us, I guess. So let's see what our heart energy is. The Empress. Okay, so here is the Empress. She's earth element. She's a very upright. She's a very nurturing crow. As she's flying over her kingdom, I think this is probably really great symbolism for our theme of this country at night type situation. This kind of meditation, contemplation space is our heart energy, so that's great. And I would really like to think this is our permanent heart energy. That's what this heart energy means. It's either our permanent heart energy or something that's temporarily taken a hold of our heart energy. So I think this is really great that we get a very, very positive card. Motherhood, abundance, business success, or creativity. The feminine energy, and here in this tarot card readings I have with y'all, I use the feminine and the masculine a lot with this solar and lunar. You have your solar self, which is your outward personality, and then your lunar or shadow self, which is more personal, more you don't really take this out in public. It could be your inner dialogue, your soliloquy, or something like that. But I use this feminine a lot of the times with your lunar or shadow self, which is kind of your subconscious or your unconscious, if you're like Freud or whatever. Your id, ego, and superego. I think it's your id. Something that has your wild side, your wolf side, and also your what you feel, even if it's beyond and contradicts maybe social norm expectations of what you should feel. 1 second. And she radiates a warmth, and she's connected to the planet. This Empress card. The Emperor here is protection, authority, and power in the fire element. Leadership, initiative, solid foundation, the Emperor, the solar energy. So right now our heart energy has the lunar, the feminine of the Emperor Empress duo dynamic. So that's great, especially with Magic giving us such a serious card. Alright, let's look at our present as a platform for the future. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is very interesting. I really like this card. This card reminds me of the Jungle Book, the animation. It's kind of a while ago where it's the vultures and they have to like travel through the place that looks like this. But this is earth element. Very interesting that we get this earth element so much. And your chakras, the earth element is I think your first chakra, your root chakra. Yeah, I think that's the earth element. Let me double check. So this is very interesting. Upright. Depending on where you're at in life, this may be a very pleasant card to get. Nonetheless, this card does represent work, hard work. Reverse though, it says you have to be very strategic about your work. This upright is hard work, and you might be in a period of a lack of water. You see no leaves or anything like that, but to just keep with it. But this reversed says you may find yourself putting in a lot of work and effort, but your rate of return does not match the amount of work you've put in. And to trust your intuition and cut your losses. I like this card. This card reversed isn't an extremely like upright. It's very positive, and reversed is the negative side of that situation. This reversed is just you have to be a little bit more strategic as to why maybe you're putting in the effort, but your rate of return or your coins or pentacles are not really adding up for some reason. And I think it's great that you have a trust your intuition. As an earth element, I think your intuition is to like your sixth chakra maybe. Or it could be your fourth chakra, your heart. I don't know, it depends on your situation, I guess. Anyway, so overall, I think it's very interesting. We have our, we don't have a High Priestess card, but I would say we do kind of have a High Priestess of vibes. We have this solar energy, or sorry, this lunar energy, and that's kind of front and center, but also kind of like hidden. And this cutting your losses, I think, is very interesting a card to get. I would think that maybe this devil card that Benja gave us might mean that there's been an overt amount of greed going on. So I would say present as a foundation for our future. I would say this is a very pleasant card to get and very interesting. I would say maybe if we didn't have this devil card here, Benjo, that maybe this card maybe could have been the Ten of Pentacles, which is all about the foundation, safety, and security, and stuff like that. So yeah. Let's look at our something helping us or holding us back. The Ace of Cups reversed. A very interesting reverse. This what a pleasant card to get, right? Got a waterfall cup here. And a lot of emphasis of the sun over here. Finally, we get a water element. I hope y'all can't hear my mom's TV. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube again. Anyway, this Ace of Cups is very interesting. It's the water element, and as far as this kind of a meditation as a contemplation, not necessarily taking time to sit down and make sure you get like 15 minutes of meditation or 5 minutes or whatever. This I think is kind of maybe what we were talking about at our very long introduction. And so this one is very interesting. This is a card that I like. I certainly don't mind at all if you're like a Cancer or a Pisces or maybe even an Aquarius. I forget the other water sign. This might not be your favorite card and your favorite placement, but or something you want to hear. But if you're an Earth sign, and we're getting a lot of Earth energy here, and even fire and air sign, I think this might not be so difficult for you. But this Ace of Cups here, and I would say it's something that's helping us because it's the ace. The aces are usually like the thousand petaled lotus, pure thought. The suit in its purest and fundamental form, um, which I think is really great considering we have this devil card here, lingering. But this reversed Ace of Cups says to kind of curb your emotions a little bit, which I say I don't mind. I'm an air element. I use the air element a lot. Um, whether that's definitely my solar self, but I think that's also my lunar self too. It says to curb your emotions a little bit, so I think maybe to be guided with your emotions in a very either earth, fire, or air type of way would probably be very helpful right now. But like I said, if you're one of those who likes to share your emotions, I'm not saying it's bad, and you find a lot of good in doing so and stuff like that. This is something that I think is helping us and not holding us back. Even though, considering again we do have the devil card, you may disagree. You may think that this might be a card that's holding us back. So yeah. A kind of a long tarot card video. Usually we're a little bit further along by now, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just do my drawing off camera. I don't know. I don't want these to be too long. Anyway, so very interesting. I think again, maybe if the devil card wasn't present, this could have very much have been the Three of Swords card, which is the card of where your head and your heart intersect. It's technically an air element, the sword, but it has a lot to do with water and emotions. So there's this not having to feel the feelings, not having to say, oh, we've processed this really big thing, but I think this is a very interesting little set we've got going on here. So let's go ahead and see the head of the crow. I'm going to take a sip of coffee 1 second. Okay. The Eight of Cups reversed. Ooh, this is really great for our theme. I think continuing on. We have a lot of this cards reversed, and considering that our heart energy is upright, I do kind of want to take these reverse cards at face value. As far as these are being reversed, they're not so bad. They just kind of have a different meaning, not necessarily like the opposite and negative meaning to the upright position. But the Eight of Cups, I really love the Eight of Cups. The head is the water element or suit. 1 second. Okay, this Eight of Cups is very interesting. I'm having to reference in the book again. Surprise, surprise.